right? So this is basically that idea behind having functional dependencies. And you can see that we have this idea has a lot to do with basically keys, right? A good schema is basically going to be designed by these sort of functional dependencies where these sort of duplicate or redundant updates are not required, right? And since we can formally define functional dependencies as this particular entry depends upon this particular entry, we can just say that this particular loan ID, since amount depends directly on the loan ID as a function, then we can say that loan ID could be a primary key, right? So since we can formally define attributes with respect to other attributes, we can sort of reason about them, and we can also sort of prove whether we can have this particular attribute as a primary key or not, right? Okay. So imagine we have a larger schema, and I'll just wrap up with this particular example and we'll start again next class. But imagine we have a large enough schema that has employee information, that is employee ID, employee name, phone, title, salary, blah, 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 right? So we are sure that employee ID is a primary key. And imagine that this is basically the data dump that the company gives you. Now you as a database designer think that, this database is way too large. I would be better if I would have broken this down into other tables, because maybe I want the average salary. I really do not need all the names to be loaded in my memory as well. Or if I want the start date, I really do not want the salaries to be loaded as well. Right? All of those things, depending upon what type of queries that you make, would be the thing that you would need to consider when you're breaking this table down. But the question is, if you are going to break this table down, what are the good choices of breaking this table down? So let's look at one particular example. That is, let's say that I break this table down into two separate tables. One is employee IDs, that has employee ID as the primary key and employee name. The second is employee details, that is employee name as one of the attributes and all of the other things as the attributes as well. So given we have this breakdown, let's say that we want to naturally join this particular two tables, that is employee IDs and employee details. Is this breakdown a good idea? Can you guys tell me yes or no? And when you type in yes or no, also tell me why. Is this breakdown of that table a good idea when we look into this particular join operation, this natural join operation between employee ID and employee details? Remember what a natural join is. A natural join is essentially joining with respect to, it's not a theta join. It's a natural join with respect to all the common attribute names. If we are to join these two tables using common attribute names, what are the attribute names that are going to be considered? Once we find those attribute names, are those attribute names enough to have distinguishing features? So firstly, let me ask this question. Exactly. So people might be named the same. So exactly, Yogi. So when I join employee name and number, exactly, Edward, right? If I am Edward, exactly. So if I am to join these two tables together, the common attribute names are employee names. Oh, you said no. So if the common attribute name, you're correct. So the common attribute name is employee name. If we are to join two tables based on employee names, that might create some issues, right? If we are performing a natural join, we would be joining them in terms of employee name, but that would create issues because different employees might have the same name, right? And that is why this breakdown or this decomposition of our table is not correct. Later, next class, we will show why this is not correct and what we can sort of do to fix this. But essentially, this breakdown or this decomposition is not correct because now if we look at the particular entry for Mary, Mary has an employee ID of 314 And Mary is essentially also has a phone number of 555-3141-1618, is a gopher, is a CFO. One Mary gets a salary of 120,000, another Mary gets a salary of 25,000. And if we perform a natural join, this sort of becomes like a Cartesian product, right? Where Mary can either be a CFO or a gopher where their employee IDs sort of merge together, right? And we really don't know which Mary that we are talking about, right? So there are issues when we are separating this table into its corresponding subtables, and that is where bad decompositions and good decompositions come into play. The decomposition that we looked into was a lossy decomposition. That is, once we decompose it, we cannot combine it to our original table using a natural join. Our lossless decomposition would be that once we decompose it into separate tables, we can also join them using a natural join and get the original data back, right? So that is the difference between lossy and lossless decompositions, and we actually want to strive towards lossless decompositions. So how can we decompose a table into its corresponding subtables such that once we combine all of them together, we would still get the original data in its own original core form. Okay, so I guess I will stop for today.